So it appears that Sony's going all in on these Spider-Man villain movies that they're cranking out. First we had Venom, then Morbius, and now we have Kraven the Hunter. Yay. I'm not sure how I feel about all this. I should be excited that I'm getting another comic book movie, but in reality I'm not. This hero fatigue thing is kind of real, but it's more because the movies are bad and I simply just don't want to waste my time with them. The prospect of having to sit through yet another dull and lifeless comic book movie doesn't exactly fill me with excitement. As a matter of fact, my old ass just ends up wanting to take a nap, like a lot of these movies make me want to do. But because Sony only has rights to Spider-Man and his villains and his family, they're trying to capitalize on that as much as they can. Remember when Sony wanted to do that Aunt May movie? That was a really bad idea. Thank God they didn't do it. Or are they still planning on doing it? I honestly don't know. But they're also working on a Madam Web movie, which I'm not sure if that's a movie anyone wants to actually see. But along comes Kraven. Now, I'm not saying that they can't go and pull something like this off. The idea of Kraven as the main protagonist and you set up Spider-Man as the antagonist could actually work if you want to have a Kraven-centric story with Kraven as the protagonist. And you could set it up where it's kind of like The Most Dangerous Game, where Kraven is hunting Spider-Man and it's from his perspective. And because I brought up The Most Dangerous Game, I have to point out that, well, Kraven is largely inspired by General Zara from the short story. And you could have a very interesting story where you have the villain as the main protagonist and the good guy as the antagonist. It could be a different take on things and actually be kind of interesting. And ultimately, Kraven wouldn't win because he is going up against Spider-Man, and Sony needs to keep Spider-Man around for obvious reasons. But instead, we're getting yet another origin story for a character most people don't know. And it's fine if you include a bit of the origin story in the movie to give people an understanding where the character came from, but you don't need to do a full-on origin movie. It's a trope that Hollywood needs to move away from. Everybody knows that Batman's parents died in an alley. Everybody knows that Uncle Ben died. And granted, this is a character that most people aren't familiar with, and like I said, you can include a little bit of his origin story in the movie, but we don't need a full-on one. It's played out at this point, and I think most moviegoers are probably sick of it too. That's just my opinion. I have no actual proof. However, you, dear viewer, can let me know whether these tropes are played out by leaving a comment on what you think on it. And the origin story that is playing out in the trailer is that Kraven is hunting with his father, who is played by Russell Crowe, and gets mauled by a lion and left for dead by his father because apparently he's not strong enough. So, lion's blood drips into one of his wounds and he gets superhuman powers, because that's how things work in real life. Now, I'm not super familiar with the character of Kraven, and I want to say that he got his powers from a serum, just like everybody else in the Marvel Universe. Come on, back in the day, that's basically what they had. It was either a serum of some kind, radiation of some kind, be it cosmic or not, or somebody got bit by some sort of magic bullshit device. Of course, that was before Stan Lee came up with mutants, which was a lot more easier origin story for a lot of these superheroes, because genetics. Oh, and I also left out Experiment Gone Wrong. And largely from the trailer, it looks like Kraven's trying to get revenge on his dad for leaving him for dead. I'm out! The trailer looks kind of cool, but quite frankly, I'm just not interested in seeing the movie, even though I'll most likely see the movie because I'm a YouTuber. Shoot me. My pain and suffering for your entertainment! Pretty much at this point, I just want the superhero genre to go away. Unfortunately, that's something I thought I would never actually say, but apparently, here we are. And pretty much at this point, I would like to just watch something like a action film or a science fiction movie or a Western, preferably one that doesn't suck. I might even actually take Gilbert Gottfried reading the phone book at this point, and not comic book movies because they are largely crap now. Thanks, Marvel. And DC, you contributed to a lot. Oh, speaking of which, go check out my box office review numbers on The Flash. I'll catch you next time. Hopefully I haven't thrown myself off of a bridge.